Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for tuning in. This is a pre-recorded video, by the way, because the meeting we had last night, I recorded it, but there was no audio. So I just had to record this again. First of all, again, thanks very much for tuning in. And today we just gonna talk about this automated bot trading, Forex trading. I know some of you have already been invested. I thought this would be a good informational session to let you know, I suppose, those who are already invested, so that you know how it all works behind the scene, where your money goes kind of thing. And, because especially with this bot trading, where I'm from in Indonesia, there are a lot of scams out there with so-called bot trading. I don't know if you've read the news. A lot of the bot trading operators are put in jail right now just because it's actually not an actual trading, but they are scamming people through like a Ponzi scheme, right? So a lot of the victims they put in a lot of money. Some of them put their life savings into it, and they can't get the money out. I mean, you go to their website checking the profit. The profit keeps going up, but you can never take it out at all. So it's just scams. But with this one, what I'm doing is a legit trading. This is a standard forex trading, except it's all automated. Just because it's to me it's all too stressful when I try to do it manually. But again, anyway, before we get into that, today's meeting, we are going to talk about, I suppose, a brief of history about myself and how I came about with this all bot trading stuff. And I hope this session will all be very informational, and see how it all goes. Before we start, the disclaimer: anything written, discussed, and presented in this presentation is general info only. Okay, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. And with forex trading, again, you can lose some to all of your capital. So enter at your own risk. Some of you who have already been invested, the risk. Again, be responsible. We never know what the future will hold. With forex trading, market can crash tomorrow. Who knows? US might invade China, whatever, right? So enter at your own risk. Never ever put your life saving in something like this. I've got my skin in the game too. I've got about almost $20,000 invested in my own trading bot. But in saying that, that's money I can afford to lose. Never be responsible. Never ever put your life saving into it. Okay. Anyway, agenda again. I'll talk about myself a little bit, and then we'll talk about forex trading 101. What forex trading is all about, just very briefly, and then I'll talk to you about the bot features. Finally, we'll go to the demo. Unfortunately, there will be no Q&A because this is a pre-recorded video. Now, a little bit about myself. I am 42 years of age this year. Many of you knows me as a buyer's agent, but I am actually a software developer by trade. I've been developing software since 2004, and developing software has always been my passion. Creating products that really help, people and help myself. I'm passionate about that, and that's how I really enjoy doing this bot trading stuff. Not so much about the trading and making money. That's good, but the fact that tweaking the bot, developing the bot, I'm really passionate about that. Now, I really haven't been dabbling in trading forex, crypto until very late in 2019. The reason was because for a long time, my dad has always advised his children to never trade, never buy shares, never buy stocks, whatever, right? Because back in 1960s, my dad used to trade shares. I still remember, and he put his apartment as a collateral. And then there was a major market crash. He told me the story, the shares he was buying, coming down from $4 to 4 cents, right? So he got a margin call. The bank possessed his apartment. One of his friends jumped off the building She wanted to accumulate 1 million US. I mean, back in 1960s, that's a huge sums of money, right? And she got it up to like, 950, 960. Then the crash happened. She couldn't take it. She jumped off the building. So because of that experience, my dad was like, don't you ever, trade shares or, like doing any trading or some sort. So because of that advice, for a long time, I haven't been, dabbling into like trading until probably about 2019. So I started my buyer's agency business in 2018, late 2018. And, the buyer's agency business is great in a way that income is good, but expenses is quite small. And because me being a software developer, I am able to automate a lot of things and making it running very efficiently. And because of that, I don't have any, much expenses. So my friend were like, well, maybe you should try, getting into like crypto mining, buy some computer equipment, offset your, I suppose, GST and expenses and whatnot, and dabble into crypto mining and learn it. And I was like, oh, okay, what, that's a good idea. Like I've never dabbled into it. Um, I thought it's going to be a good skill to learn. So I did. I bought some computer equipments, did some crypto mining, mining the coins. And because of that, I started joining multiple Telegram groups. And in those groups where I actually learn about like trading and stuff, and it really fascinated me. And yeah, as a beginner trader at the time, as some of you who have been trading, like the feeling, right? It's just you know, I came into it with gambling mentality. I never realized I have this mentality until I was exposed to it, right? So I still remember back in the days I started with like 200 bucks, and then within 2 minutes I made like $2. I was like, dang, 1% in 2 minutes, I'll take it. And you know what it's like with gambling, right? You want to get rich quick. So I was like, man, this is working. Let's put in $2,000. And, before you know it, 5 minutes later, I knew nothing about trading size, lot sizes, technical analysis, knew nothing about that. I was just looking at the chart. I thought it's going to go up. So I put a buy, and sure enough, market went down, and I lost like, you know, I got margin call from $2,000 down to like $300 in 5 minutes. It's just madness. And this is the thing with gambling mentality is when you lose, you want to recoup the loss quickly. So what happened was I enter more and more and more and kept losing eventually. And I was like, this is not happening. If I keep doing this, I will lose a lot of money, right? So and not just that, like when I started, obviously I started as a manual trader, and when you open a position manually, I really like my eyes were just fixed to the screen, to the chart. I kept looking at the charts at all times. I'll show you what I meant later on. But some of you who have been trading probably can appreciate this. It's just because when I open a position, you just don't know where it's going to go, right? You put a buy position, you hope price is going to go up, but you just don't know. So what happened was I said, remember, like walking from my office to my client's office, like during the walk, my eyes were just fixed to the screen, my mobile phone, right? And even in the meetings as well, instead of taking notes, I look at the screen all the time. So I was like, this is just not healthy. Not only are you stressful, but you're still losing money. So I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a way to automate this. So that's when I started to learn about making a bot. All right. So before we go into the bot itself, let's probably talk quickly about forex trading in general. But yeah, that's pretty much the history about me, how I got into trading. And before I get into the bot, I just want to quickly run through this forex trading stuff, right? So with forex trading, you can pretty much do it in a couple of ways, right? The first type of trading is what we call a spot trading, or you hold the actual asset. This is like, for example, if you want to go on a holiday, you want to go to Europe, at the airport, you go to an exchange and you exchange your Australian dollars with, say, euro, right? You hold the actual euro bills with you. That's the first type of, I suppose, forex trading, right? You buy euro, you sell euro into Australian dollars and stuff like that, but you hold the actual a dollar bill. But the second type of trading, and this is what the bot is running on, is this is the trading that I'm doing, is what we call, CFD, or contract for difference, or some other people call it futures. What it means is you are not holding the actual asset, okay? Rather, you are betting on the movement of the asset price, okay? So let's say gold, for example, you believe price is going to go up, then you do a buy position. You're not buying the actual gold, you're just betting on the price movement, if that makes sense. And this is where the term long and short comes into play. If you've watched the movie The Big Short, the person believes property market is going to crash, the price is going to crash, so that's why they shorted it, right? So this is what it means with CFD or futures trading. You're not holding the actual asset, rather you um, you bet on the movement of the price, right? So I thought I want to mention to you that I'm not going to bore you with the technicalities like the pips, the lot sizes, trade sizes, and all that. I have written a book on that. If you want to support me, you can buy that book from Amazon for like $5, But that I have detailed in there, like the more technicalities of CFD trading. But in a nutshell, CFD trading is what I'm doing with this bot. Okay, we're not holding the actual asset, we're just betting on the movement of the price. Okay, now with CFD trading, you can make, well, and lose money on the way up and on the way down, right? If you put a buy position, you long it, you believe price is going to go up, and if price goes up, you make money. If you short it and price goes down, you make money, right? The problem is, if the price goes the other way, you believe it's going to go up, you put a buy or long position and price goes down. That's when you lose money, right? Or you short and price goes up. So this is where the technical analysis and the bot trading stuff comes into play. Like, people are having a lot of indicators develop, a lot of technical analysis techniques and skills and whatnot, all in the name of, for the sake of being able to determine whether I should buy or long, or I should sell or short, right? It's as simple as that. Trading is as simple as that. And yeah, so that's where everything sort of comes into play now. With the bot itself, it runs on certain platform. Like the bot that I wrote only runs on MT4 or MT5. There are a lot of trading platforms out there. Just to name a few, like TradingView, CTrader, CMC. Like if you own you with Commonwealth Bank, you're going to be using their trading platform ComSec, right, for example. But my bot specifically runs on MT4 and MT5, MetaTrader. Okay, so that's a little bit about the about forex trading. Now let's move on to the bot itself. Some history about the bot. It was first developed in 2019, when I started dabbling with trading, and the main motivation of it was because of stress of manual trading, right? I just like, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't work. I was like this, too stressed. So that's why I started this bot. It has gone through more than 100 iterations. I'm going to show you later on the configurations and how complex it is, so that you can, I suppose, appreciate how long this bot has come. Has come a long way, right? I have tested with every combination possible, every technical analysis, with every possible pair, forex pair that is provided by the broker. I tested it using data from 2021. the year 2021. So it's like 4 years worth of data. And finally, I get it into a stable um, condition right now. I no longer update the bot for like months now because it's just running stable. It's been more than a year and the bot is not dead yet. So, fingers crossed, hopefully it keeps running smoothly. And finally, I was able to narrow down into these 9 pairs that I'm trading with the bot. Okay. Has gone through, 100 plus iterations, years, a couple of years of worth of testing. And finally, I've narrowed it down. Every combination possible. I'm going to show you later on what I meant by that. Now, the bot itself is a martingale bot. Martingale with no stop loss. So martingale, in a nutshell, is a technique where if you make a loss, if you lose your position, the next trade you're in, you increase the trade size. Okay, a very simple example is this. Let's say I go to casino, I play blackjack, right? I bet on $1, I lose that one. The next trade I'm in, I put $2 in, hoping that if I win that, I can recoup my loss of the earlier one, which is $1, right? I still lose this one. Again, the next one is $4. The next one is $8. I keep losing, and finally, $16 one, $16 bet, I win this one. So my total losses for the first 4 attempts were $15, right? And if I win this $16, I believe I get double, which is $32, right? So in this instance, my profit is, $17, and that's enough to recoup my $15 losses. In a nutshell, that's what martingale is. So every time you lose, the next trade you're in, you increase the lot size, the trade size. Now, I'm not setting the bot to do double trade size, okay? But the main principle of martingale behavior is exactly this. You increase the trade size. And I'm going to show you later on the bot configuration. Now, so that's the bot's behavior is martingale with no stop loss. The reason with no stop loss is, I know with stop loss is great because you kind of, the argument is, well, with stop loss, you save your capital. If you make a loss, at least you're not losing all of your capital. But the problem is this. If you use a stop loss that is tight, that is narrow, that is small, that is narrow, the gap between your opening price and your stop loss price is quite small, often the stop loss gets hit more than you win. So in the end, you still lose anyway because it hits the stop loss more than you win, right? So what happens? What I've seen a lot of traders are doing, they use stop loss, but the stop loss is the gap is so wide, so big, it defeats having the stop loss in the first place, right? So that the hope is the stop loss is never hit. The market is sufficient to reverse before the stop loss getting hit. But the problem is, if the stop loss is ever hit, okay, the trader might lose, say, 30% of the account. I mean, yes, the argument is, okay, you still have 70% to play with, but to recoup that 30%, it's going to take ages, right? It's going to take ages, and nobody, like, you just don't know. Tomorrow, you might hit another stop loss, another 30% might be gone. So this is why I don't configure the bot with stop loss. It's using a martingale behavior, which I'm going to explain later on how that all works. Okay, so that's the main behavior, the main strategy of the bot. Now, I just want to touch quickly on the importance of Forex brokers. A lot of the scam, bot trading scams that some of you probably have experienced. What happens is they created their own scam brokers, right? You can register for an account, whatever, but you can never withdraw the money out. Now, with Forex trading, you are only as good as your broker, right? If you don't choose a sanctioned, legit broker, you can't withdraw your profit, then there is no point. You can have all these profits, but you can never withdraw right? So this is why for the mem account, I I use a quite good broker. It's called Blackpool. Very good customer service. Just legit. Like I've withdrawn many times, no issues. Some of the investors that we've had have withdrawn as well with no issues. Legit brokers, New Zealand based, Blackpool market. So I just want to touch the importance of choosing a good forex broker, right? Now, I also built a technical analysis and news filter with the bot. I'll show you what that looks like, but it is really important with forex trading from my experience on and observation and testing. The only way, if you want to lose easily in forex, you trade during news. That's how you lose, right? That's pure gambling, because major news like interest rate announcement, you just never know what the outcome would be until the announcement, right? So if you trade the bot during news, you are taking a huge risk of losing. So this is why I put the news filter in. Again, I'm going to show you later on what that looks like. But I gathered this news from a couple of sources. I've configured the bot to not trade 6 hours before the news until 4 hours after the news. Okay, because when the news happens, market reacts, and it can take few hours before market finally calms down. So I really don't want to be part of that volatility. Hence why the news filter. All right, but I'm going to show you later on what that looks like. And finally, with this trading stuff, you can run the bot yourself, or you can join the mem account. If you want to run the bot yourself, it means you have to have the servers, the technicality, right? You have to install MetaTrader yourself, configure the bot and stuff like that. It's going to cost money to be able to run the bot like 24/7, right? The easiest way is just to join the mem account. That way I trade the funds for you. But anyway, I'm going to show you the portal and the configuration in the next session. Right, on to the demo now. I am going to show you the portal. Okay, the settings portal of the bot, so that you can see how complex it has been. This is my website, by the way. My Telegram handle is Carbon Velo. Because I love cycling, and velo means bicycle in Italian. So Carbon Velo means carbon bike. Hence, I name my bot Carbon Trading Bot. Okay. Now, if I log into this account. You can buy the bot, by the way, if you want to, from this website as well. Boats, which one is that? This one. All right. Okay, see here on the left, I've got its bot settings. Remember the 9 pairs I talked to you about? I have setting for each one of those, right? We have like every pair has a different setting, because every pair has been tested using different technical analysis. So if I'm opening a couple of these, let's say we open Euro USD, which is the most popular forex pair, and say GBP CAD, Canadian dollars. All right, let's look at this Euro USD first. Pairs to play is Euro USD. Again, I'm not going to bore you with this profit tips and stuff. Okay, so I've set the bot to use dynamic lot size. What this means is the bot will automatically increase its trade size every single time the balance goes by $5,000. The reason is because the bot can auto compound. I don't have to touch it. It can just auto compound based on the balance that we have. Now, if you don't do this, what it means is as the balance grows, if you keep using the old trading size, the the small trading size, then your percentage profit will dwindle, right? So this is why I have this configuration so that the bot can auto compound. Um, this is the MT4 platform, by the way, for the MEM account. And as you can see, we have $14,000 now, 14,400. And as you can see, the bot is opening lot size 0.05 instead of starting from 0.01, which is the smallest trade size you can make in Forex. It starts with 0.05 because that's how I've configured the bot to automatically compound, automatically adjust the starting lot size. As you can see, so many settings in this page. Look at this one, right? We've got martingale settings. Okay, so as you can see here, it starts with like 0.02, and if it goes on the wrong way, it will open more positions at bigger lot size. Remember, that's martingale, and as you can see here, it opens bigger and bigger and bigger, right? I have set the bot to run a maximum of 12 positions because the bot can support up to like 22 positions, but I have limited that to 12 because again this has been tested, and we wouldn't have enough funds to support like 22 positions anyway, right? It's gonna the lot size will be so big, like size 200, so big. Hopefully we will never get there, so I've limited the bot to just open up to like position 12. Okay, so this is the martingale lot size, the trading size, and then you also have the ratio, the price difference ratio. So what this means is 0.05%. So every time the price goes on the wrong way by 0.05%, it opens a new position. It opens a new martingale position at a bigger lot size, bigger trading size, if that makes sense. Okay, so between position 0 and 1 is 0.05%. The first 5 positions, it will open every 0.05% price difference. As it gets to position 6 to 9, it goes by 0.06% price difference. And finally, for 10 to 12, it will open when the price difference is 0.1%. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, this is the martingale settings. We've got the calendar settings. Okay. As I've explained before, I am using calendar data from Exness, which is another broker, another big broker. So I'm using their data as well as this website called Forex Factory. If you've never used this, I highly recommend you checking this out, because in this Forex Factory calendar, you can actually see what are the upcoming events. Like the red ones are the ones that we have to be really careful. Like I wouldn't recommend anybody to trade over, especially the red news, okay? Because these are the high impact ones. Like this week, for example, we have, FOMC, which was last night. Federal funds rate, as you can see, like so many red news today. Employment change for Australia. Some Great Britain news as well. We don't trade CHF, but if you do, then there will be news. So check this website out. I'm using this data and feed it into my bot so that the bot doesn't trade during the news 6 hours before up to 4 hours after. So here, as you can see here, automated calendar hours before is 6 and automated calendar hours after is 4. Every time, 6 hours before the news and 4 hours after, the bot will hopefully close, it will be enough time to close any opening trades for profit, and it doesn't open anymore until the news has passed. Okay, so this is the new settings. As you can see, we've got profit settings, drawdown protection settings. Like I have tested with every single combination. I came up with all these configurations. Most of them I no longer use because, based on my testing, they are not needed, luckily, but they are there. I don't want to take them out just because it takes a lot of effort to build this in. But as you can see, so many technical analysis, Bollinger breakout, engulfing Fibonacci, hammer, MACD, moving average, RSI, Like for this Euro USD, we're using RSI, right? But for a different pair like JBP CAT, it's a different technical analysis on this one. I think this one is engulfing. Okay, so as you can see, I have tested using multiple combination, multiple pairs, every combination possible with with the settings that I've like. I learned so much different technical analysis indicators. I built them in, I tested, and I finally able to sort of like narrow down what's working and what's not. I'll show you this document. Probably can appreciate this as well. This is a document that I used to build, right? Every single pair that the broker kind of offers, I tested with different configuration setting, and the ones that I highlight in orange are, I suppose the good ones as part of testing. So after this process, I do a live trading test and see if it survives or not, and I narrow down even further from there. So as you can see, it has taken me weeks and months to just test this. Like, look at this, just every combination possible. I used to build this document. Luckily, it's all in the past now, and as I mentioned, I no longer have to update the bots anymore because it's really stable now. So it's, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, so I thought I show you this portal so that you can appreciate the bot configuration. Now I will move next now into the platform and the actual bot demonstration. I've got open here MP4 platforms. One is the MEM account. Okay, so this is the MEM account live. Okay, market maker capital, and we've got two trades opening. I'm going to show you later on. This is just a slave or proxy MT4 application. I'm going to show you the actual one in my server later on. But this is the Black Bull MEM account. So this is where you're like, this 14,400 consists of more than a dozen investors now, including my own money and some of your money as well. I trade the whole thing with the bot. Okay, and I have this demo account so that I can show you better the martingale and whatnot. So for the MEM account, I turn on the calendar control, but for the demo account, I turn it off. So as you can see, it has more positions open, right? So I'm gonna quickly show you how martingale works. Let's look at, it's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. So as you can see, right, the first two positions have the same trade size, but the third and fourth having bigger trade size, as I mentioned before with martingale. So if I open this one, right, this is how martingale works. Okay, it does a buy, right? It does a buy. I think this was the first one. It opens buy, but then price goes down. What happens for 0.05% price difference, which is probably about, what is that? About a dollar something. It opens another position. The price keeps going down. It opens another position at a bigger lot size and at a bigger lot size, right? The bot will close everything for profit, even though the original, like I said, with martingale, the latter positions, because they are at a bigger lot size, the profit you make of these two latest positions, are sufficient to offset the losses of the earlier positions, if that makes sense. Okay, so this profit line will keep going down as more positions open. This take profit line will keep going down, and when this hits, um, when this hits, it will take, the way I configured the bot is 20% profit of the loss. I know this is very technical. 20% profit on the way it works is this. So let's say the bot opens 5 positions. Okay, position one is -5, -4, -3, and -$2. Okay, and so the total loss of these 4 positions is -$14. Okay. Now position 5, because it opens at a bigger lot size, trade size. Let's say position 5 is currently at $16.8 profit. So the amount of profit that I have at the moment with this open positions is 16.8 minus 14, which is $2.80. Okay, $2.80 is 20% of $14. Okay, $2.80 is 20% of $14 of the losses. In this scenario, the bot will close everything, even though the 4 positions are at loss. It will close everything and take the $2.80 profit. Does that make sense? So that's how I have configured the bot. It will take $20 profit of the loss. So when this take profit line gets hit, okay, it will be 20% of the loss. Put it that way. Yesterday, one of the participants asked, okay, what happens if you only have one position? Let's say this one, Euro GBP, we only have one position. So by default, instead of 20% of the loss, if you only have one position, the bot will only take 20 pips away. So as you can see here, the opening price is 83870. The profit is 20 pips away, which is 83850. Okay. So by default, it's 20, sorry, not 20 pips, 20 points away. 20 points away. Else, if it started to open, more positions, it will take 20% of the loss, 20% profit of the loss. Okay, so I hope this really clarifies what's good. This is a live trade, by the way. As you can see, the price is moving. Okay, this is a live trade, but it's a demo account, and this is the actual mem account. So somebody asked me yesterday, can I install the bot myself? The answer is yes, you can. But again, like I mentioned earlier, you will need like a server that can run 24/7. The reason is, if you just use like a laptop at home or internet connection at home, sometimes you have power cut during storm or something, right? Or the internet router, you need to restart it or whatever. And if you ever miss the trade, and if the bot cannot trade because you have all this internet connection issue, then it becomes problematic because it wouldn't be able to open the martingale positions, right? It can open the martingale positions, and you put yourself at risk. Okay, so this is why I am using this what we call VPS. VPS stands for virtual private server. Okay, so this is the server where the bot lives. This server runs 24/7. By the way, this is a paid server. This is why if you try to install the bot yourself, not only is it technical, but you need the infrastructure to support you, and you need to provision this, VPS. So if I open this VPS, as you can see, right, this is where the actual mem account with the bot lives. Okay, 9 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I put the bot on auto trading. Okay, carbon scalper bot is on, and yeah, I've got a few other accounts. That is just for me, by the way. But this is the mem account, so it is for real. This is not a like a scam trading or anything like that. I trade this account for real. And some of you who have already been invested, obviously you've seen the profit, and so far I hope you have no trouble with getting in contact with support and getting the support that you need for your account. Now with the mem account, again, I don't have access to your funds. Okay, you create your own account, you just connect it to my mem account. All right, but I don't have access to your funds. I can't take your money out, I can't withdraw your money. Your money is with your account. It just gets connected and get traded together as a pooled account with the mem account. All right. Now, somebody asked me yesterday, can the bot lose? Absolutely, you can. The bot can open up to 12 positions. for every pair, okay, for every pair, it can open up to 12 positions. There is no reversal, right? If this profit never gets hit, let's say this gold one, and it just keeps going down, 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 down to the point where it goes beyond the 12th position, so how much margin call? Okay, so Forex trading is still very much casino. Okay, this is why do not enter with your life saving, even though we've been making good. I mean, we're returning about 5% plus per month. Where else can you get that kind of return, right? It's been good. I'm really proud of it. But again, do not enter with your life saving, because you please just enter with the money that you can lose, because it's still we don't know what the market is going to do. I have put as much protection, as much technical analysis on the bot, but again, you never know the future, right? Donald Trump attacking China or whatever, or Russia had issues with Ukraine, and they, oh, there you go. Do you see that? It just closed for profit for this gold. There were 5 before, right? It just closed for profit. So sorry, before I get back into that, but if I now look at this close trade in the history here, the two positions are enough to offset the losses. Okay, so we have these losses, right? And the positions that were closed were sufficient. The profit of the latter positions are sufficient to offset the losses of the earlier positions. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell how the martingale behavior works. And yeah, coming back to the trading thing, please do not enter at using your life saving and whatever, just money that you can afford to lose, that if you wish to participate. But I hope through this demonstration I can show to you that this is a legit trading. This is not all this scammy bot trading stuff, but this is a legit trading. Like, I can open a new position manually if I want to, through this MT4 platform, either sell or buy, as simple as that. But with the bot, it does the trading for me, behind the scene, automated. I don't have to look at it. Just good for my mental health. So yeah, there you go. I've demoed to you the platform and the mem account as well. This is the MT4 platform. So if you want to use my bot manually at your end, you can. You just need to use a broker that supports MT4 and MT5 platform. You can't use it on Comsec, for example, because my bot doesn't run on Comsec platform. But on MT4 and MT5, MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, it can run. Okay. So yeah, that's all from me, guys. I just want to thank you once again for your time. Again, I'm not here to tell you to invest or anything like that. Some of you have already been invested, but I hope this session has been informational, so you know what's going on behind the scene. Any questions, just let me know. Message me, email me, join my Facebook group if you want to. Message me in Facebook if you have any questions. I'll answer to the best of my ability. So thank you once again for your time. I'll see you next time.